Anyone who has not done prayers so far, would you like to read these verses?
I can do it, Mataji. I have not done it so far.
Yes, Vidya Mataji.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानानञ्जशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं ये भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। Do you have to read, Mataji?
Yeah, we can read the meaning also.
I was born in the darkest in ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who was established within this material world, the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivanam Sada Sadvaitam Savadutam Parignana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamsha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunatha Dasa and Raghunatha Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta, and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara, Srinivasa, and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates Sri Lalita and Vishaka. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Oh my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is queen of Vrindavana. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srinivasa and all others in the line of devotion. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhagavad, do you have to read next one also, Mataji?
No,
Bhagavad Gita.
no. Thank you so much. Very nicely you read the shlokas and the translation. So we will take turns like this, devotees, anyone who has not read, so we can come forward and read. So we are in,
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
thank you. So we are in chapter 5. We will do a quick summary. There are some questions that I thought we will make into groups and discuss and come back. Then we will lose like 30 minutes in that and will not have time. So we can discuss like this. So the verse numbers is given there. Whoever knows the answers, you can raise your hand or type in the chat. It's not a multiple choice questions, but it's like a practical application. So this is from verses 1 to. Is renouncing all work, sannyasa, better than performing work without attachment, karma yoga? Since we have to finish it quickly, we can have quick answers, not elaborate ones. Yes. Julie Mataji?
False.
Yeah. Renouncing sannyasa is not better than
Performing work without attachment.
which is karma yoga. Okay. Why does Krishna say that karma yoga is superior to renunciation? Please refer to the purports. If you have the book, you can open 1 and 2.
I have to wash my hand much.
No, anyone, I mean, any devotees, anybody. Why does Krishna say that karma yoga is superior to renunciation?
Mataji, we just do the duties and also think of the God and dedicate it to the Lord, Mataji. So
Right.
in that way, like we strike a balance between both the material life and also like the spiritual life.
So karma yoga means offering everything to the Lord, and that's more direct process and easy process also. And very happy process compared to the renunciation. Very nice. Okay. How can we apply karma yoga in our daily lives?
Like what food we eat, we can first offer to God.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
and then start like every activity, keeping God in center.
Hmm. Thank you, Mataji. Abba Mataji, you have anything else?
Yes, I mean to say in daily life, we can just dedicate all the work which we are doing to God, that we are doing under His Krishna consciousness and without any results for us. So He can give the result accordingly for which we are not attached.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Anything else? Anybody wants to say anything how we can apply other than whatever is told?
We can keep our mind in the foot of Lord. Like we can always think about Lord.
Foot of Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lord's feet.
And do whatever work we have to do. Yeah.
Look.
Daily life.
Okay. Bhavnesh Prabhu?
Sorry,
Okay.
Mataji.
Okay. I thought you unmuted to say something. So, offering food is one thing, thinking about the Lord is one thing, offering our time. Okay, our time is very valuable, right? We would spend time with the loved ones, with the family members, so we can offer some time exclusively for the Lord, chanting and offering the results of our work in Krishna consciousness, like distributing Bhagavad Gita, using our a part of whatever we can, the money that we earn, we can use it for the service of Krishna, like donating for the Sunday feasts in the temple, donating for Bhagavad Gita distribution. We can buy ourselves, some copies and uh, give it to friends and family. So, like that, also actively use the results of our work, which is some amount of whatever we can, the money in the Lord's service. Okay, that's also one of the important part. Time, food, our mind, um, and our results of our work, our activities, our money, and our house to hold the satsang, like that, inviting devotees to hold the kirtan. Like that way, we can, whatever resources we have is been supplied by the Lord, so we can use it in the Lord's service. Okay, going to the next set, 3 to 5. Who is a true renunciant according to Krishna? Maybe I should screen.
Mataji, can I say something?
Who? Okay, sorry. Who
Yeah,
always thinks about Krishna? Sorry.
we'll take turns, Mataji. We'll give chance to everyone else also who wants to answer. Yeah, Chandir Mataji, yes.
Yeah, Mataji, to what I think of really renunciant in this world is the person who is just doing as a worldly work, but not being attached to that. Even any little to big things, big work, even work or family. I mean, we are attached to family more, and even that we should take a little bit distance and come to chanting when we need to make time to chant. Another thing is, I think when it comes to like little problem and anything, just think that we are just part of Krishna. We are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We are just a little part of that.
Yeah.
And if something problem is coming in front of me, so I can be, it will be taken care by that
Lord,
parcel,
right.
which is God.
That's wonderful. That's taking refuge or shelter in the Lord. Because I am connected to the Lord, and as a master, He takes care. Very nice, Mataji. Very nice. Okay. Can a person living in the world, working a job, and having responsibilities still be a renunciant? Anybody who's not answered so far? Yes, Prabhu. Avnish Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. For sure, if all the actions are being done for the mercy of Lord Himself, or for to keep Lord happy, or look at the joy of the Lord, then it's we are surrendering everything to Lord. So yes, you can be still considered renunciate if you are living in the world and working all the family situations as well, if you surrender everything to Lord.
Very nice. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. So it is possible. It's not that it's not possible. In fact, that's the only way for us. So we are like connected to the Lord, and so that way we are renouncing everything to the Lord. Okay, next. What are some common misunderstandings about renunciation? Meera Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I believe it's gaining spiritual knowledge with the sacrifice. So if you just renunciate without spiritual knowledge, it's not of much use.
Okay. That's one thing. That's what it is said that, the yajna should lead to the spiritual knowledge. Then it is complete. Very nice. Okay. Some misunderstandings. What are some common misunderstandings about renunciation?
Mataji, sometime when we live in this world, we think we should leave the world or leave the family and be a sannyasi.
Okay.
And that way, it's a true renunciation. But here in Bhagavad Gita, it's not said that. It's saying do your duty and renounce the same time. Like
Thank,
let that go.
thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. So we'll raise hand and speak so everyone will get a chance. Anybody else? Annapurni Mataji, do you want to say something? What are some common misunderstandings about renunciation?
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Renunciation, first thing that comes to mind is inaction. And this would probably cover the previous two questions as well, that nobody can be without action. There will be action and there will be consequences of action. So to avoid that, we have to keep Krishna in the middle of everything, because even to maintain our body, we need to do action. So there's no such thing as renunciation in the material world. So we have to do a karma, like give everything, surrender to God, all our actions, and keep Him in the middle of everything. And that's how to conduct our lives.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, let's go to the next section, 7 to 9. How to be detached in work. How can one perform duties but remain unattached to the results? So I can. So it is from who wants to answer this? Okay, Ashutosh probably.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, like by offering the result of the karma to the Lord.
Yes. So what does that mean?
So that means like means we everything is Lord is the doer.
Oh, okay.
Each and everything is already what is happening in this world is happening as per the Lord's plan or Lord's will.
Right.
We are just means what we are just instrument to execute His will.
Very nice. Maybe that's a basic, understanding and realization with which if we work, then we can be. So the results will be either will be giving us happiness or will give us misery, right? So how can we remain unattached to the results? Kanika Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna.
Mataji, I had actually read somewhere that everything belongs to Krishna, so everything has to be used in the service of Krishna. When you operate like that, okay, if a result is good and you're happy, you use that happy result in the service of Krishna. You know, if you're making more money, you can do a little bit of donation in Krishna consciousness. If you're distressed, again, you use that mental frame in the service of Krishna. Like, okay, I'll read Bhagavad Gita, try to see if I can find the problem of my solution, and maybe go to a class or do some japa So if everything belongs to the Lord, everything has to be used in his service.
That's nice. Every situation has to be used in the service. Very nice. Okay, so when we are happy, we understand that Krishna is the one who's giving us this result, and so the credit goes to him. And when we are sad and we goof up, then we learn from the results, but we don't beat ourselves too much, right? So it's not that. I mean, I have done some mistake. I am not the only doer. So there must be some other cause which I don't know why this misery has happened. But anyway, Krishna is there. He's with me in all the situations. I must have got much more worse, but he will help me guide through this. He will help me cross through this. And as you said, take some shelter in Bhagavad Gita, in the classes, in Japa, like that. Okay. I think we are late. We'll not be able to cover everything. Maybe we'll take one from each section. So, why is it difficult to control the mind and senses? What are some practical ways to do so? It is from 10 to 12. Anyone?
So senses are like the horses of chariot going in the all different directions. So that's why it's hard to control.
Yes, that's true.
What was the other question?
Yeah. What are some practical ways to do to control the mind and senses?
Chanting helps.
Chanting helps. Okay.
Satsang, like Sangha.
Sangha. Very nice. Yeah. Because if we try to find sometimes a solution, then we may not be able to find. So we take help from other devotees. Ask the questions, come to Satsanga. Very nice. Okay.
And knowledge about scriptures too.
Reading the scriptures, that's our practical ways to control the mind and senses. Okay.
And also surrendering to God, Krishna.
Surrendering to God. Okay. So 13 to 15. If Krishna is not responsible for our good or bad actions, who is responsible? Who wants to answer this? Yeah. Yes, Vinita Mataji. Us and karma and we ourselves. Right? So this is a very important teaching of the Bhagavad Gita and the 5th chapter especially. Because usually we tend to, when we are happy, we give credit to ourselves. I worked hard. I did this. But when we are sad, why this has to happen to me? But either good or bad, we have sown the results and we have sown the seeds and we are experiencing the results. How Krishna consciousness, it looks contradictory to then the previously what we discussed about happiness and distress. The point is in every situation being connected to Krishna, seeing his presence. That makes a difference. Not that he is responsible, but I am responsible, but still Krishna will help me through this. So I don't blame neither Krishna nor the surroundings, but I might have done this in the previous life. God knows what I have done this out of ignorance. But now by the Lord's mercy, I'm able to understand all this. So, He will lead me through this. So that way we take shelter. Okay. Okay. We'll pause here. And thanks to Ratiprada Mataji for the questions. So I think everyone liked it. It was very thought-provoking and very practical. So we will go to chapter 5. We continue to read from 16, I think 16 to 20. Anyone? Megan?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Uh,
Okay, just please. So we are reading from text 16, right?
to 20, yeah.
Okay. Just a second, Mataji.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, text 16. When whoever one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Text 17. When one intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge are all fixed in the Supreme, then one becomes fully cleansed of misgiving through complete knowledge and thus proceeds straight on the path of liberation. Text 18. The humble sage, by the virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and a gentle brahmanas, a cow and an elephant and a dog eater outcast. Text 19. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the condition of birth and death. They are flawless like brahmanas, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. Text 20. A person who neither rejoice upon achieving something pleasant nor lament upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who is the science of God is already situated in trance state. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So we saw this, how in darkness, nothing is revealed to us. But in the light, in darkness, everything looks the same. There is only darkness and there is no differentiation. But when there is light, then we see different things. There are trees, there are houses, there is sky. Everything becomes clear. So when we get spiritual knowledge, then we are clear about ourselves and the position of the Lord. It's like when with the help of the sun, one can see himself and also everything connected with him, like as we discussed. So similarly, with the help of the spiritual knowledge, one thing is very, very clear, is that ourselves and the Lord are always individual beings, and the Lord is the proprietor. For example, here, if you see in this, we have no time to read the purport, but some of that. Okay. So some people may say that actually I'm God, and then I'm covered by Maya now. And when I'm relieved from this covering, I become God again. So that's been questioned like this. For instance, when the living entity is bewildered in so many ways. For instance, when he unceremoniously thinks himself God, he actually falls into the last snare of nescience. If a living entity is God, then how can he become bewildered by nescience? Nescience is ignorance. Does God become bewildered by nescience? If living entity is God, and we are all, we don't see past, present, and future now. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We are covered by ignorance. So how can God be covered by ignorance? If so, then nescience or Saturn is greater than God. That doesn't, nobody says that. No religious scripture says that. So real knowledge can be obtained from a person who's in perfect Krishna consciousness. Therefore, one has to seek out such a bona fide spiritual master and under him learn what Krishna consciousness is. For Krishna consciousness will certainly drive away all nescience as the sun drives away darkness. Even though a person may be in full knowledge that is not this body, but he is transcendental to the body, still he still may not be able to discriminate between the soul and super soul. However, he can know everything well if he cares to take shelter of the perfect bona fide Krishna conscious spiritual master. One can know God and one's relationship with God only when one actually meets a representative of God. A representative of God never claims that he is God, although he is paid all the respect ordinarily paid to God because he has knowledge of God. So, this is the difference between Guru and God. Guru has to be paid all respect because he has knowledge of God, but the Guru or the representative of God never claims that he is God. So, one has to learn the distinction between God and the living entity. Lord Sri Krishna therefore stated in the second chapter that every living being is individual and the Lord also is individual. They were all individuals in the past, they are individuals at present, and they will continue to be individuals in the future even after liberation. At night, we see everything as one in darkness, but in day, when the sun is up, we see everything in its real identity. Identity with individuality in spiritual life is real knowledge. So many times, many places, they can distinguish between um, body and the soul, but not between soul and the super soul. So that's why it's clearly mentioned here. And as we discussed here, that our intelligence, mind, faith, and refuge. So you see, all these are very subtle, are all fixed in Supreme. Then we can become cleansed of misgivings because we'll have thorough knowledge, complete knowledge. And this is a very wonderful verse from this chapter. Maybe I can recite, and if anyone can recite after me, that way everyone can learn this verse at least once. Yeah. Abba Mataji. Vidya Vinay Sampanne
Vidya Vinay Sampanne
Brahmane
Brahmane Gavihastini
Brahmane
Brahmane
Gavihastini
Gavihastini
Shuni Chaiva Swapake Cha
Shuni Chaiva
Shunite
Swapakecha
Pandita Samadarshinaha.
Pandita
Pandita Samadarshina.
Samadarshina.
Right. So we see that there is an equal vision. Equal vision, generally, when we see someone, we see the body. Oh, he's Indian, he's a Canadian, he's an American, he's an African, he's, Chinese, like this. Or, we see someone rich, or someone homeless, or, someone is uh, very learned, someone is a fool. But all this vision is external. Not only the vision between the human beings, but also here different species, a cow, elephant, and a dog. So, what is the vision that's required is all these are like outward coverings based on the material modes of nature and karma. But what is the equality in that is that every living being, irrespective of whether being a learned or a fool or a cow or an elephant or a dog or anyone, is a spirit soul, and there is super soul in their heart. Okay, that is the equality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the super soul, however, does not make them equal in quantity. For the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas Paramatma is present in each and every body. A Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has equal vision. So this is why there is an equal vision, because without the knowledge of the soul and the super soul, how can we get equal vision? Right? So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Because of a spiritual education, there is gentleness. Fully equipped with the gentleness that comes with the spiritual education, a person is able to see equal vision. So, yeah. So here they're flawless like Brahman. This is not Brahmin. Brahmana is a Varna, is according to their time, place, and circumstances. Brahman means beyond the three modes of material nature. Brahman is the all-pervading aspect of the Supreme Lord and is flawless. Flawless means there is no fault in God. We can find out why. Because there is no hatred and love. He's neither hate someone nor is attached to someone. So then a person whose minds are established, are connected to that flawless Brahman, then they can also are established in the sameness and equanimity. So how they practically show that is that when they receive something pleasant, I mean, obviously they will rejoice, but they don't take the credit. So it's not completely on themselves, and nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant. They take it as a mercy of the Lord. There are many, devotees stories in this connection, histories, that how even the worst situation in their life, they were able to take as the mercy of the Lord. Okay, there is something in this for me, so the Lord is giving this lesson for me. So because of that connection with God, they are able to not be swayed so much by happiness or misery. It's like this. If it is like if somebody else's car is getting hit, okay, there is an accident, everyone will be so curious to take a picture and see how big accident is this. But if our own car, or if we are involved in that, then it's a totally different emotion. Why? Because we are attached to that and we are identifying ourselves with that. But a liberated person, for him, because of his connection with God, he can see even an adverse situation, something good in that. So this could have been even worse. Okay, my car is totaled. Okay, but I could have been totaled also. But I escaped and at least the car is totaled. So like that, because he's connected with God, signs of God. Otherwise, why I should have, I should have driven properly. This car is not good. It doesn't have safety features. Because there is no connection, we tend to become the doer and we beat ourselves that I should have done this, I should have done this, I could have avoided this, like that. So the whole life goes in lamentation. Yeah. Mm. So that's what, see, an intelligent person does not, okay, we will continue to read 21 to 25. Someone else raised hand last time to read. Okay, Vinayak Prabhu, yeah, Reshma Mataji, after this you can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Text 21. Such liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. Text 22. An intelligent person does not take part in sorts of misery, which are due to contact with material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures has a beginning and an end. and so the wise man does not delight in them. Text 23. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. Text 24. One who one those one whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoice within, who is aim in inwards, is actually the perfect mystery. He is liberated in supreme and ultimately he attains the supreme. Text 25. Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sense, achieve liberations in the supreme.
Hmm.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So these these five and the coming shlokas talks about a liberated person. What is his consciousness? What is he enjoying? So what is that? He enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the supreme. In any situation, he's able to see the supreme. One practical example in this connection is the story of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is a close associate of Lord Chaitanya. He was born in a Muslim family, but he was so much dedicated to chanting that he would chant 192 rounds. One round is 108 times. Okay, so he would chant 192 rounds. I mean, that makes up to 3 lakh times chanting the holy names. So we should take almost like 20 to 22 hours for that. And not one day is doing, every day he was doing that. And because of that, his fame had spread throughout the village. And people were telling that what a saint he is. Okay, because he was born in a Muslim family, he wasn't allowed in the temples. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself used to go and visit him, and he named him Namacharya. Because it doesn't matter which family one is born, but if he is chanting the holy names of the Lord, then he becomes perfect. So he was Namacharya because nobody else could chant more than him. So he was totally absorbed in that. And so there was a local village leader who didn't like this. His name was Ramachandra Khan, and he was thinking how I can get the people defame him. So after trying various methods, then he was thinking, okay, I will resort to the low grade method of doing politics. So he called the society girls, a very beautiful one, and he said, okay, you go in the night and seduce him, and I will send the constables, so then they can catch him red-handed, and then we will parade him, so everyone will know what he is. So then she said, okay, I will do this, because whenever money is given, she does that. I mean, this is a true story. This has truly happened. So she goes there, and first she's offering respects to the Tulasi Devi, and she's talking in a very nice way. It's a solitary place, and in a way to attract his mind. And he says, okay, I have this vow of completing this chanting, without which I cannot do anything. So you please wait. I will after chanting, I will fulfill your desire. So he continued to chant, and then it became dawn. It was about for sunrise. So she got up and left. And then when that person who sent her, he came, he said, no, no, it didn't happen. But today it will happen. Then I will tell you. Now you don't send the constable. So next day again she's going, and she's offering namaskar to Tulasi. And again, he says that, see, I have so many rounds to complete. So you please sit here and chant. And I know why you have come. So I will fulfill your desire. So she has nothing else to do and she's sitting and sitting and sitting. But what's happening the last 2 days is again it's going to be dawn and it's almost sunrise. So this day also she went back. But 2 days, because of hearing the chanting from a pure soul, like Haridas Thakur, something happened. Uh, there were some transformations in the heart. That what does the chanting do? Cheto Darpana Marjanam. The first thing is in the heart. From the heart, whatever is covering the heart, the dirty things, that is removed. So when she came on the third day and she sat through, she had the change of the heart. She was thinking, what am I trying to do this to the saint? And why am I living like this? So that transformation happened just by her hearing the chanting, not even in a mood to hear, but there is no other go, but she heard. So then she fell at his feet and she confessed to him that this is what I came for. I was sent for this, but I know that, I've never seen a saint like this. And I'm so sorry. And I'm feeling so bad that I have wasted my life like this. Now, deliver me. So Haridas Thakur said that I could have gone from this place before you came because I know for what purpose you are coming. But I wanted to, give you a chance to hear the holy name. Then he says, okay, you distribute all the wealth that you have earned in a bad manner to everyone and come here and continue to chant in front of the Tulasi. So he's giving her the mantra. Then he leaves that place and then she sits there and she continues to chant and she becomes a second Namacharya in that village. People are so surprised to see how she was transformed. So we can see that how Haridas Thakur was able to see that was able to do that because of his purity and he was experiencing unlimited happiness within himself. So there's nothing else that external is so enticing to him than what he is relishing, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So then, so this is what we know that like this, there are so many examples of devotees who live like this, that a liberated person and they are completely in peace and in happiness within themselves because of, especially in this yuga, there is no other way than to do this. Very simple, very easy, very sure, and very fast. Everything is fast food and crash course and everything we want fast. So Ashtanga yoga and Jnana yoga will not work. Bhakti yoga is also the fastest. But there is no shortcut to chanting. Chanting is the shortcut, but there is no shortcut to chanting. Every day, if we commit ourselves to this chanting process, then we can see slowly we will also achieve this stage. Yeah, there's one more point in this about welfare of all living beings. This we have discussed already, that if there is a boy gets lost, okay, somebody is coming and giving some buying food for the boy, and so temporarily he's so hungry, so his hunger is satisfied, and someone is trying to give him some clothes, buy him some dresses so that he can freshen up and he can wear. That is also good. That is going to help him. But again, a hunger is going to come, and again, his clothes over a period of time is going to go. But the third person is coming and finding out the father of the boy and then taking him there. So, in that process, what is already included is the father will give him food, the father will give him clothing, everything is included in that, right? So, similarly, the welfare work of all living beings is to remind them of their original father. Like we are in the process of reminding ourselves that we belong to Krishna, and then we do this and share this with the others also. So when we are in this process and we bring everyone to this understanding of that how we are eternally part and parcels of the Lord, then everything the Lord takes care. So that is why this is the highest welfare work. Madhav Seva is Manav Seva. But normally what we know, Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. Manav Seva is maybe, you can, how much food you can give. Can we give food to all the hungry people in the whole world? We are still limited. Okay, how much we can, give clothing to others. Although this is not bad, it is good. Rather than being using our money for ourselves, this charity is good. But beyond that is um, connecting everyone with spiritual knowledge and giving them spiritual food, prasadam. And even when we are giving charity of clothes, I've heard that we give it in the name of the Lord, that it is the Lord who is letting me do this charity to you. So when that doership is not there, then we don't get the pious result, but we do a karma. So that's from verse 25. Okay, so the last 26 to 29, Reshma Mataji, can you read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 26. Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the in the very near future. Text 27 and 28. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence, the transcendentalist, aiming at liberation, becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. Text 29. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So we see 26 in connection with 23. 23 is a very nice verse. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. What is the meaning is that before giving up this present body, because this is a time that we can do this between birth and death. Otherwise, we again take the same vasanas, or if we are very desirous, very greedy, and very angry, very lusty, then we continue that in the next life also. So not only will you not be happy in this world, in the next world also. So he says this is what one should try before giving up the present body. If we don't have the spiritual knowledge, what was the goal? Okay, let me make more money, let me establish myself, let me get houses for my children and grandchildren and great grandchildren and great great grandchildren. That is our goal. But Krishna is telling something else, because everything that is not what achievement is. What is the biggest achievement and what is the biggest goal that we have to work is, if you are able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. So, how to do that? Right? We all understand this. This is my problem, greed and anger. So how to do that? Even in the 4th chapter, he said, many people who have taken shelter of me have given up this, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. So, if he takes 26, uh, yeah. So, in the conditioned soul, the desire, the desire to enjoy the fruitive results of work is so deep rooted that it is very difficult even for the great sages to control such desires despite great endeavors. Because with our own endeavor, it's very hard because we are used to doing this and we expect something and that doesn't happen. That's when anger comes. Either it could be anger on oneself or anger on the others, anger on the situation, right? Because of our, because we derive the happiness, we derive everything for us is external, but external keeps on changing. That's the problem, right? So because we have the desire to enjoy and our happiness is dependent on the results of the work, so it is very hard. Naturally desires, and then when desires are restricted, then anger comes. But a devotee of the Lord, important is this, constantly engage in devotional service in Krishna consciousness, perfect in self-realization, very quickly attains liberation in the Supreme. So it is not impossible because he's constantly connected with Krishna through chanting. I mean, even when we are driving, when we are walking, anywhere when there is a chance, we can open the book and read a page. So somehow, if we are connected like this, then with the help of the Supreme, it is possible to slowly, gradually, conquer this. And what's the example? Say, the fish brings up its offspring simply by looking at them. The tortoise brings up its offspring simply by meditation. The eggs of the tortoise are laid on land, and the tortoise meditates on the eggs while in the water. This is from Padma Purana. I mean, modern scientists, we cannot prove it, but this is Padma Purana talks about different creation and the mind and how the process works. Similarly, the devotee in Krishna consciousness, although far away from the Lord's abode, can elevate himself to that abode simply by thinking of him constantly. By engagement in Krishna consciousness, he does not feel the pangs of material miseries. This state of life is called Brahma Nirvana, or the absence of material miseries due to being constantly immersed in the Supreme. If you are immersed in the Supreme 10%, 90% we will feel the material miseries. If you are immersed in Supreme 50%, then 50% will feel. So it is directly proportional. And also the next, in Bhakti Yoga, we are aware of this, but we don't have any external, I know we don't need to take anger management classes, sense control classes. Everything is a package coming in Bhakti Yoga itself. This yoga process helps one become free from all kinds of fear and anger and thus feel the presence of the super soul in the transcendental situation. In other words, Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of executing yoga principles. This will thoroughly be explained in the next chapter. So, it's not instant, but it's gradual. So sometimes Krishna puts us in a situation to show us how much we are in the grasp of desire and anger. But that's also, I mean, we fail. When we fail, then we know, okay, this is my situation and how much more I have to go. If failures doesn't happen, then we think that, oh, I know I'm practicing everything, I'm perfect, I'm just less than 1% less than a pure devotee. But Krishna shatters that myth by giving us, situations where we understand where we stand actually in controlling fear, anger, and desire. So with humility, then we will learn how to take shelter of the Lord and not be proud about ourselves. So, one Prabhu was telling, even failure to control anger in the process is a stepping stone to success. Okay, this is also a very important verse. So, you can repeat after me. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam
Bhoktaram yajna tapasam
sarvaloka maheshwaram
sarvaloka maheshwaram
suhridam sarvabhutanam
suhridam sarvabhutanam
Jnatva mam shantimrichati.
gyatva mam shanti
Gyatva, it's mam. There is a on top. The hyphen on top of a is a double sound. So mam. Here also shanti. Yes, on top of that hyphen means this sha. If you know the English thing, shirt, like sha. Shantim richati. Same way, it's not Maheswaram, it's Maheshwaram. Because a yes and a hyphen stands for this sha. Here it's not, it's sa. If the yes with nothing, then it is sa. Tapasam. This sa. Okay. So Krishna is telling the peace formula here. A person in full consciousness of me. So we talked about, all this time conscious of Krishna, connecting to Krishna. What does that mean actually? So he's saying that what we have to be, how we have to be conscious of God. Three things. Knowing him to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. Basically, he's a supreme enjoyer. And along with that comes, we are not the supreme enjoyer. So we don't hanker for enjoyment, or we are not jealous if somebody else goes for a vacation and puts in the Facebook, then we are also, okay, let me also go and put in Facebook. So because everybody's enjoyment is allotted accordingly. So we understand that Krishna is a supreme enjoyer, and our enjoyment is allotted and we are minute enjoyer. So that way he is at peace, that he is not able to enjoy like others. Okay, that he's not hankering because of understanding that the Lord is the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. Then the supreme Lord of all planets and demigods. So not only that, he is a supreme Lord of all planets. So definitely supreme Lord of ourselves also. He is in complete control. Here we are not in control, but we want to take control. Then there is no peace and no happiness also. We'll see, we'll fail. But here we are giving, we understand that the Lord is a supreme controller. And not only of all planets, of demigods also. Whomever we may have been worshipping as our Ishta Devata, he's the Lord of all of them. So it is not a competition. Someone may ask, okay, if I start reading Bhagavad Gita and start worshipping Krishna, will my Ishtadeva, whom I was worshipping all this while, will he get offended? No. Why will he? Because he's the Lord of him also. That's why he's telling Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. And such a person who is a supreme enjoyer, who is a supreme controller, what is he to me? Is the my benefactor and well-wisher. Suhridam, the benefactor. Suhridam means even though I am not doing anything to him. even though I hate him, even though I have done something wrong to him. Suhridam is such a word that anything we do to that person is always our well-wisher, okay, benefactor. So he's saying, I am the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, which include us and every other living entities in the world. So such a person, what he gets peace from the pangs of material miseries. When we are undergoing miseries, if we remember the shloka and see how Krishna is a supreme enjoyer, Krishna is a supreme controller, and such a supreme enjoyer and controller is my well-wisher and my best friend, very dear friend. Then, we attain peace. So that is the okay. So we can read 3 lines, and this is significant. Here, Krishna consciousness, however, as long as he's in contact with matter, he has to work in terms of material necessities. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter, for it is an arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, the more he is freed from the clutches of matter. The Lord is not partial toward anyone. Everything depends on one's practical performance of duties in Krishna consciousness, which helps one control the senses in every respect and conquer the influence of desire and anger. So, yeah. So, this is a summary of the chapter 5. Very beautiful chapter. We will pause here. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of karma yoga or action in Krishna consciousness. Okay, any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Chandar Mataji, have any question?
Mataji, I have a question here, not a particular for this. What Krishna is telling to Arjuna is quite confusing sometimes. Sometimes Krishna is saying that, come to me, listen to me, what I'm saying, do that. And then Krishna also saying, I'm in the heart. And then Krishna is also saying, I'm everywhere and everything is me in me. So there are 3 different things Krishna is explaining. And how can be Arjuna, who has to win the war, to decide? I would be very confused in my teacher like this.
Okay, that's why he keeps asking questions to clarify. Otherwise, second chapter only Bhagavad Gita should be over. Because second chapter, if you see, contents of Gita summarized. So, see, Krishna is there in the heart. He's controlling everything. We saw this last class.
Right.
But desire, okay, if we don't see him, although he's present, he'll wait until we see him and desire to follow him. It is like, if a child is sleeping at morning 10 o'clock, telling there is no sun, the sun has not yet come, because he has put blinds and that block out curtains, and he says it's dark in my room, so I will not get up. No, but there is sun, but he has to get up and open the windows to see that there is sun. So our situation is like this. We are bound in our own miseries and situations, and it's very hard for us to even think of any spiritual things beyond this. And so we are not able to connect to God, although He's present within us, as He's present everywhere, He's controlling everywhere, He's present within our heart as Paramatma. But we should take desire, we should take the step to connect to him. That's why Krishna is telling, come to me. I'm so close to you, but still you're, running far away from me. So come to me. That's why he's telling Arjuna that. Is that okay?
You have nicely put it together to all these three statements, what I will keep coming in my mind all the time from all this discussion.
Yeah, it should come. That's good. That's a sign of, intelligence, and we should think about this, mananam, right? If we
So
don't think
when
about
we
it,
go to like with this japa, we feel the presence of Krishna, right? And then so it means when we do japa, from japa, when we say this Hari Rama, Hare Krishna, it comes in our heart then.
yeah.
And then we can feel eventually he's everywhere and everything is in him. That's the process. I just want to know from you. I mean, that's the reason he's saying that in practically for our worldly people in present time.
Yeah, otherwise, how we can connect to God? Tell me. It's not possible to renounce everything. It's not possible to sit down and peacefully meditate also. Japa is one thing, even if the mind runs away, okay? Even if the mind will run away for sure. Even if it runs away, also the chanting will produce an effect. It will come back. The every day we do, we, slowly the mind will be on the holy name. It's like this one Mataji, she's a kindergarten expert teacher. So she is Prabhupada disciple. So she was telling this example that if you give, mind is compared to be a restless child. If you give a child a timeout and say there's a timeout corner, go sit there, the child will run out and come. Then again the teacher puts the child back there. The child again runs out. Teacher again puts back. Child runs out. Like this, it goes 10, 15, 20 times. At one point, the child realizes, if I run out from here also, I am going to be put back. So better I sit. Then after 2, 3 timeout sessions, when the teacher says timeout, go and sit there, the child will go and sit there because he knows that there's no other option for the child. Because the teacher will make sure that the child should sit there. So mind is like that. Even if it runs away, by chanting, by continuing our dedicatedly chanting, I mean, we don't also consciously wander with the mind. We try to bring back, but the mind runs away, but we bring back. Like this, it keeps on going. But with the holy name, we are trying to bring back not just on meditation, but we are chanting the holy name as a service to the Lord. And the Lord is not different from the holy name. So, just like the child will be put back, we are trying to pull back the mind. And after some time, as the child will understand, the mind will also understand that I have no other way but to listen to the holy name.
And I have one more question. Can I ask one more?
Yeah.
This verse 27 and 28, it talks about shutting out all the external sense objects. So in that sense, when we shut off, how can we live in this world? We have to go to work, we have our friends, and they have their standard. And if we have to live in this present world and bring them to read the Bhagavad Gita, for instance, we have to be with them somehow, to attract them to this knowledge. So even this knowledge, but we have to be with them as they are in a way, in certain way, not fully 100% their way, but we have to have like a company of them to living in this present world. And present world is not like all sattvic.
Yeah,
I mean,
so with the strength of our practices, if we remain in the mode of goodness, then we will not be influenced. See, that's why Krishna doesn't say that take the lotus leaf out of water. Lotus leaf, the place of lotus leaf is water only. But lotus leaf is not affected, does not become wet by water. Water slides through. So that's what he's asking us. Be like a lotus leaf here. We have to not, we cannot possibly shut our senses and remain inside, go into a cave and do that. We don't have experience, neither we have, the possibility of doing that. Only thing we can fix our consciousness in the bhakti process, regulative principles of bhakti process, which will bring us to the mode of goodness. And with that coating, like a wax on the lotus leaf, we will eventually not be influenced by the surroundings and others. At least in the beginning, we will not be influenced enough that we will give up our practices. That much, Krishna will protect us. If we are determined to chant and do everything, then okay, we are pulled here and there. We are still, influenced. But we will not let that affect our devotional practice. Because one day gone without chanting is one day gone. You can never compensate that again. So we understand the importance and we do that. And by that process, we will, like Krishna says, we will be in a position that not being affected by all. That's what he says, shutting the thing is not literally shutting, but not being influenced.
Mataji, if I talk about myself, I have friends who are really outgoing and they are drinking and all that. And I want to bring them to this knowledge. I want to give them Bhagavad Gita in future sometime. And and I want to keep them with me because they are from long time. I was with them this afternoon and I see the difference more now. But the thing is, it's like it's really difficult to being a lotus leaf and water not to be
But
there.
you are right, you are in the right path. Because you're first of all seeing them from the point of view of Bhagavad Gita. That's one thing. Because previous to Bhagavad Gita, you didn't see them like that. Second, you're feeling that you want to give them Bhagavad Gita and bring them to that. That's wonderful. And that's what is required. You try to give them Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes they may accept, you'll be surprised. Not all, maybe one among them will like this. But the others may make fun of you. What happened? All these days you were nice. Suddenly you became a saint or what? Like that. But we brush off those comments. Okay. And we try to give. And in this process, what happens? Those people who are not aligned with this, they will leave us and go. But those people who want this, I mean, they will leave us and go in the sense is no, they know that our interest is different, and that's a good thing only. I mean, it's not. Then those who want to take advantage of your knowledge, because there's so many people who want to benefit from you. It's Krishna's plan. Everybody here, Krishna is giving this knowledge because you have some souls who will come to you, and you will eventually, not eventually, even tomorrow, even now, you know, you give this. No, I got this knowledge and I am sharing this with you. And I still have so many questions. For those in Charlotte, His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu is coming to Charlotte on Sunday morning. We have a flyer. We are having a program in Harrisburg. If you, he has a website, thespiritualscientist.com. And in YouTube, if you go, Chaitanya Charan Das, he's a very famous motivational speaker, has spoken in many universities, and he gives commentary on the recent issues and from the Bhagavad Gita's perspective. So we are very fortunate to have him in person and have there's an opportunity to ask questions, although it's only a half a day program in Charlotte. So whoever is in Charlotte, please come and take advantage of this. So I'm planning to write some questions and ask him. So like this way, my knowledge is not perfect. It may be good enough for to share with you, but I am learning. So I am learning from him. So like that way, how much ever you know, you can share with others. And like this, it keeps going. And we continue learning in the process. Our learning never stops. Our sharing also never stops. Hope that's okay, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. I will be keep asking you. My mind is even more what Krishna is telling. I am just thinking how confused the Arjuna will be in the field. I mean battlefield where in front of his cousins.
Yeah, yeah. True. I mean, one thing is why you are even able to understand this much because you're chanting daily. That's why, it's a prerequisite to chant. If we just hear the philosophy and we don't serve Krishna by chanting, chanting means basically, not converting you to Hare Krishna or anything like that. It is just a service to the Lord that we are doing, dedicating the time because it's Yuga Dharma. Without that service, if we try to understand this knowledge, it will be superficial like a honey bee going around the bottle of honey. Okay, honeybee's thing is to go to the flower and take honey pieces. But if the fly or anything else, honeybee is going around the bottle, but the bottle is closed. So like this, we will be beating around the bush. It will be so much like, yeah, I understand it. But unless we serve the Lord by chanting, uh, it will not sink in. So that's my humble request to everyone who's attending here. At least chant minimum of 2 rounds, which is going to take only 20 minutes or 25 minutes maximum, 15 to 25 minutes, depending on your thing. But this has to be every day, either in the morning. There's no hard and fast rules. There is no, you know, day and time. But if you chant, that's what is required. At least give that time to the Lord and try to connect with the holy name and chant. And if we see that, we can see that the understanding and realization, we can get it from the heart because He's present in the heart and He gives us that understanding. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you to Chandra Mataji for bringing up some very interesting discussion. And just building off of that, I mean, I actually have a related question. There is a family friend that we have been talking to for months now. It seems that the discussion we had today about, the larger plan for each one of us that Krishna has, none of us knows. So whatever he has been doing for many years has not worked out for him. So, it's very normal that he's fallen into very deep depression and stuff. So every time now I'm on a call with him, he's in India. I just feel like, oh yeah, you just come on, you should just join some classes or read Bhagavad Gita. It's very like he's so closed up and he's so pulled down right now that nothing's making sense to him. What can one do to basically, I mean, for us now, because we have been coming to classes, we can see the bigger picture and, in that paradigm. But I'm not able to communicate or convince him to even take like a small baby step in this direction.
I understand because it's like for him to take this step now, he's like he's already in the test. And during the test, it is hard to go back and he's in a test which he is not prepared at all. Don't even know what the syllabus is.
Yeah.
Okay, but right now in the testing arena, if we tell them to read Bhagavad Gita, it's like go read the syllabus. But he's all stressed under the test now. So what we can do for him is pray for that person from the heart, because our prayer will help that somewhere he opens up to get this. That's one thing. Sincerely pray and try to give him get him connected to, say for example, nobody will say no for food. So if we can arrange for some prasad, somebody to bring some prasad from the ISKCON temple or anywhere else, if you know anyone, or we can even send something. So by just taking the prasad, it's like ordinary food that they would say no, but that prasad will is a mercy of the Lord, and that will help him open up. And also we can prayer, of course, as pray as a chant, as a prayer to him, that pray to the Lord by chanting that uh, please help him in some way. And in fact, because of somebody's prayers only we are here. We don't know who prayed for us, but somebody has prayed for us that let the soul get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So
Right.
we can do this in general, but we can even discuss personally. And if there is something more I can help, knowing exactly where he's located and what he's going through, we can connect offline on
Okay,
that.
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. This is very helpful. Another related comment from Chanda Mataji's discussion. So in the beginning, when I was chanting in the morning, it was very interesting. I think we were already done the introductory course, and I was doing 2 malas, I think, at the time. And then you have been sending the links to the japa session in the morning. Somehow I was waking up at that time every day. I think Krishna was waking me up. A few days I just fought it. I'm like, okay, no, I need to sleep. And then I'm like, no, there's something else going on. And it's been a couple of months now. I just wake up at the right time, sometimes even like at 5 o'clock. And it's automatic. It's just like you're saying that you take one step and Krishna will, help you, go further in the determination. It's really like on a daily basis, I see so many things. I just want to share that.
Wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Yashita and her mom, Sunita Mataji, for doing the service, regularly posting the japa message on the group. I know it's a repetition, but every day this reminder helps us to connect that.
Absolutely.
Thank
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna, Sri Vatsa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, I had some things to ask, some input also perhaps on this thing that I kind of noticed very early in Indian society, in Hindu Samaj, if you would, this very community-based thinking, where if it's depression, one person is suffering, everybody needs to get involved. Why this is happening? Why that is happening? There's a lack of faith, and the heart space I feel is not cultivated enough. Now, sometimes I wonder why. Is this because of generational trauma? Is this because I don't see it as much in other cultures. If I were to present it, they'll very sincerely approach it. They'll sincerely dissect it. If it's for them, they'll sincerely, and then it's like, if the energy is maintained, they'll follow through. It's very simple. It's not like overthinking. I have to take permission of parents, and then parents are using some archaic school of thought to break down this, and then ego comes in the middle. There's a lot of these things that insecurities, and it's a real turnoff for me. And this is not dharma. I'm sure this was not meant to be dharma. Also, this is decadence. So that is why when I approach, I don't like to get into this very dense kind of societies dense, where there's a very dense, like some have like uh, family patterns, some have societal patterns, others have, and then in the midst of it all, dharma gets so diluted that other things take over, and then they replace the spiritual essence.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
this is I don't know. This is like sometimes I talk to my cousin also in India. He lives in Pune, and he tells me the same thing. Like very basic things, like something is happening. Let's say in Bangalore, I had this experience. People are starving, and for these rich people to show off, they'll go and they'll feed some dog which has bitten 20 people on the street, and they'll be like, "I care for animals." First you care for the human beings, first you care for all this, you cultivate faith, you can easily change the country. And I'm coming from a Western school of thought, and I feel like this really must be used. What are your thoughts, Mataji?
Yeah, that's true. The reason of we are not able to see everyone as, I mean, as a family, not only as a country, but every humanity and every living being is also our worth our service. Why we are not able to see that is because we didn't get it. There is no system
Mm,
of getting this young. If you see
yeah.
Madaras, I've seen kids going 3 years when they are just about starting walking, 1.5, 2 years, and they are about to speak. They are sent there first to learn, then to the school. Same way, Sunday school in Abrahamic religions, it's a must. I don't know now it's going off, but it was very cultured. It's like this. If you put teaching something, especially spiritual topics, analytically, logically, in a fun way to children, is like putting some mark in a wet cement. It's going to
Yeah.
stay there forever, that mark in the wet cement. But
Yeah.
we leave the time when the cement is wet. And when it is dried, we try to drill through that. That's what is happening now.
But
So,
where does this self-hate come from? Because I've noticed this. It's like only after I came to the West, I was able to undo it. Yeah, I studied in ICSE syllabus in Bangalore, and there I was taught to hate myself, hate Hindu Dharma, hate my identity, be ashamed of yourself. How can some, and then I go back home, I ask my parents, they don't know either.
so that's
And they
what,
are equally as lost.
yeah, this education should be in the schools, because this is not religious. This is spiritual knowledge. This is spiritual science. It is a science of how it works. See, Krishna doesn't speak one word Hindu or anything like that. He's speaking about anger and desire and how to be happy and peaceful, how to see everything properly. This is knowledge for humanity.
So we have lost it because of
But
the
we have not,
invasions.
it has not been presented properly in a nice way. So we need to learn to we need to learn to assimilate it ourselves and present.
Mm,
That's important first. We need to assimilate it day in and day out. Read. I mean, like when we read for the competitive exam, and if you have a guidebook, how much underline, how much, we would have done that. In 12th grade, in 10th grade, we take extra tuition sessions, and that, I mean, I remember I used to go to tuitions, and if you see the problem of math, you know the answer. That many times
mm,
we are practicing, because that
right.
will only surely come, at least in my days of school. So like that, we should read.
But this change must come, right, Mataji? Because I
Our
went to the Diwali.
to start from
Diva-
us.
yeah, I
E-
mean, I am there and I separate myself because 99% are still the other way. They're focused on the fireworks more and less on the diya.
Hmm.
So, you come Diwali, they're focused on what you're wearing more than about your heart.
Yeah.
So, this kind of change, it might sound harsh, but this is also for me. It's like it's very evident to me. I've been seeing this. I've been seeing through for a long time now, and it's the same nonsense that keeps persisting.
Yeah, what I would suggest is you will be able to influence the society and bring in a change when you are connected with the Supreme. Every
That is
day
there.
you read and you chant
Mm,
and you see that you'll be empowered to do this because you have a desire
mm,
to do this. Krishna is there in the
mm.
heart. It's only you don't know how to do it. Okay.
Yeah, not yet. Not
Yeah.
yet.
But he will enlighten that way. But for
Mm.
that, your connection should be there.
Strong. Yeah, not there yet. But
Every
yes.
day every single day chant and read. Like that's why we are
Sure.
doing this session. This session of 18 weeks or little more, 20, 25 weeks. It's okay. 25 weeks is half an year, but
Mhm.
get to read the purports of Bhagavad Gita.
Sure.
So
Thank you so much. Shubhratri. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay, devotees. So yeah, thank you all for attending. Anything else? I think so. I will share the flyer in the group. If anyone in and around Charlotte can come, you can come and attend this program. And also, I will share one other very nice discussion in India Today forum that I recently got the link of Gauranga Das. So how effectively this is a group discussion and how effectively he's sharing this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was very inspiring to me. Today I saw that video. I will share that as well. Yes, Reena Mataji.
Mataji, a quick request. If you can share the questions from chapter 5 that we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, I can share that also.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you, devotees. So have a wonderful reading. So we will continue to read the second half of the 5th chapter, the purpose that we discussed. And thank you, special thanks to Reshma Mataji for putting the messages, reminder, and also reading yourself and asking questions. You asked a question today. Yeah, that was about internal energy and external energy of the Lord, which is covered in the beginning of the 7th chapter. So we will when we go to that 7, 1, 2, 3, Mataji. But for now, you can read 7.3, 7.4 and 5 to understand the concept of internal and external energies. Thank you very much, devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.